Netflix's Squid Game centers on a brutal psychological driver, forcing people in debt to play children's games where the penalty for losing is death. To recreate this competition in the real world, Mr. Beast's production team had to solve a structural problem. They weren't just building sets, they were building an environment that felt dangerous without actually being so. The tension in the original series is a product of lethal consequences. Recreating that same level of anxiety in a YouTube video requires a substitute for the threat of physical harm. In this version, eliminated players walk away with a $2,000 consolation prize, while the winner takes home $456,000. The production spent $3.5 million on replica sets, but the sets alone couldn't generate suspense. True tension required engineering a psychological simulation of life or death stakes. For the first game, Red Light, Green Light, the team needed a safe way to replace the show's live ammunition. They strapped mechanical squib devices to the torsos of all 456 contestants. When the game's motion sensors detected a player moving, the device triggered, delivering a loud pop and a sudden jolt to the chest. This sensory shock created a visceral panic among the crowd. By triggering a physical reaction in the players, the production simulated the lethal atmosphere of the source material. The Marbles game presented a different hurdle. In the television series, characters had days to form emotional bonds that made their eventual betrayal meaningful. The YouTube contestants lacked that time. This diagram illustrates the production's solution. They bypassed the need for in-game bonding by exploiting pre-existing relationships from the contestants' real lives. Using background research, the producers intentionally paired best friends and roommates against each other. To advance toward the $500,000 prize, a player had to actively choose to eliminate their closest friend. By forcing this choice, the strategy successfully replaced the fictional fear of death with the very real emotional weight of personal betrayal. To fund the $3.5 million required for this production, the team had to modify the original format to fit real-world economics. In the show, the numbers are reduced by a violent midnight brawl. Mr. Beast's version used a safer, gamified alternative, the paper-flipping game Dokji. Dokji allowed the production to thin the crowd while incorporating a sponsored segment for the game Brawl Stars, which helped cover the massive overhead. As the competition reached its end, the production encountered a cultural barrier. The American contestants were unfamiliar with the rules of the eponymous Squid Game. To keep the pace of the video moving, they substituted the finale with musical chairs, a game with immediately recognizable rules. Choosing a functional, easily understood mechanic over fictional accuracy ensured that the final moments of the video maintained their momentum. The final round saw two remaining players circling a single chair for a $456,000 prize. The production ensured the outcome was unscripted by having the person controlling the music look away from the set entirely, stopping the track at random. The intensity of the finale was a direct result of the high reward and the simplicity of the mechanic. This chart highlights a shift in production scale. While traditional reality TV shows have plateaued, independent creators have crossed and overtaken them, now executing projects with hundreds of contestants and multi-million-dollar budgets. This recreation proves that the logistical complexity once reserved for major television networks is now being managed by independent digital teams.